One of the reasons that I'm really drawn to text messaging is that across income brackets, the vast majority of teenagers have cell phones. Most students who have cell phones have unlimited texting plans, and most people who have a cell phone text dozens, if not hundreds of times a day. What I think text messaging has as an advantage over some other forms of social media is that every message comes through as a unique bit of content, at least for a moment in time, to students. So I think one of the challenges, at least I've seen with platforms like Facebook and Twitter, is that whatever information we might want to provide to students is competing with all the other information that they're getting through the platform. Whereas with text messaging, at least in that moment in time, that information stands out. And one of the really interesting things, not only about the summer after high school, but really much of the college process, is that there are a series of discrete tasks that students have to complete that they are often unaware of, not because they're being lazy or not caring about college, but because there's a disconnect between how colleges and universities deliver information and how students are used to receiving it. And so in our summer work, we find that sending students a handful of text messages that remind them to register for orientation, to complete placement tests, to log on to their college's web portal where they can access a lot of information. Those kind of simple reminders can have a pretty pronounced impact on whether students matriculate. One of the really nice things about text messaging as well is that we can both automate and personalize these messages for thousands of students. So in our prior work, we've worked with school districts to collect just a little bit of information from students, their name, their cell phone number, where they're planning to go to college. And what we've observed, at least in urban districts, is that most college-going students go to one of a small handful of colleges or universities. So from those colleges or universities, we can collect things like the day by when student has to register for orientation, or the date by when they need to have completed their placement tests. And then working with a text messaging platform, we've worked with a great company called Signalvine. It's pretty easy to stitch those two pieces of information together and then push out to students at large scale what feel like really personalized reminders to the student. So it's not just, dear student, make sure to attend orientation. It's, dear Yolanda, have you registered for orientation at University of St. Thomas? The last one is July 15th. Here's a web link that can bring you right to the orientation page at St. Thomas so you can complete that task in the moment before your attention's diverted elsewhere. All of the messaging work that we've done, we've always made sure to offer students the option of writing back and requesting help from a counselor. We think that information can go a long way, but we also think that a lot of the processes that students need to complete in order to matriculate are complex, like completing the FAFSA or interpreting an award letter or setting up a tuition payment plan. And so text is also powerful as a vehicle to let students signal that they need help without having to take the kind of relational investment of walking into a school or picking up a phone to talk to a school counselor.